Regulation has been a hot topic, in fact, since Trump was elected as president in the US last November. He announced back then that he was going to review some of the Dodd-Frank Act, and since then regulation has really been at the forefront of many people's minds that work in the financial services industry in the US. At the event in Boca, Chris Giancarlo was confirmed as the presidential nominee to run the CFTC as chairman. He gave a very interesting speech where he effectively tackled three key issues that he wanted to turn his attention to once he is confirmed as CFTC chairman. Those included one, financial innovation and how the CFTC can work to foster financial innovation. One, applying rules in a more consistent manner that makes sense for the industry. He talked specifically about some of the execution methodologies which he felt were too restrictive today in the way the rules are written. And lastly, he felt that market liquidity was negatively impacted by some of the banking rules, and he would use the CFTC's seat at the FSOC committee to really push back against some of the more onerous rules on the banking side. The short answer is no, especially not in the short term. In order to repeal Dodd-Frank, you'd have to pass both the Congress and the Senate. The Republicans today have a majority in the Congress, but for the Senate they would require 60 votes and they only have 52. So they'd have to convince 8 Democrats to support a Dodd-Frank repeal. So that seems unlikely. The more likely avenue in the short term is really changes to the rules both at the CFTC and the SEC, and that's something that we are monitoring very closely. As a next step, we really expect the Senate to confirm some of the presidential nominees, but we also need to remember that there are actually still a couple of nominees outstanding. We're still not clear, for example, on the Fed side, who will replace Dan Tarullo, and the Fed really has been the driving seat around some of the banking rules. Now that will then have an impact on the Basel rule set, which still haven't been finalized. So Basel III, which was due for finalization in March, has now been pushed back to June. So we expect any nominee on the Fed side to have an influence over how these rules will be finalized come summer this year. Then the next steps, as I mentioned earlier, really on the CFTC rules side, which rules will they tackle first, how they will address some of the key issues that Giancarlo outlined at Boca.